If you click this thumbnail, you know what's coming. How you not subscribing, bro? Literally, who out of the man them is making bike content like this?
Let's shout out Slipstream.
Nobody. So it was one of them ones where I started my day heading out for a ride out with the guys, and you know when you got that feeling, that niggling feeling in the back of your mind, and you try and silence it, and you try to not even finish the thought, and you think positively and you crack on with your day. It was one of them ones. So got out on the road, started heating up the tyres, pushing a little bit, moving through traffic. I'm on my way to Link the Mandem. Usual settings. As you do, you see a few of the old boys in blue on the way. Not a big deal, keeping it stepping, nothing too drastic in terms of speed. As far as I understand, there's no cameras on these lanes. Don't bug out in the comments. A couple corners that felt a little bit more sketched than usual. But at this stage, you know, I'm trying to warm up my tyres, I'm trying to get a little bit of pace going. It is damp, it's foggy, in and out of traffic as you do. I remember this corner specifically, I came in a little bit hot and back end started twitching, the front end didn't feel like much at all really. There was not a great deal of front end feel. But yeah, kept it stepping, just about made this light, and you know, ran the corner from my mates. There's just a lot of moisture in the air. So, you know, that's, for any rider, that's not a vibe, especially on super courses.
Alright, boys. What's going on?
Okay, today's sketchy, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, it looks a bit nuts. It's fine rain for me still.
Yeah, well, it's fogging, isn't it? It's fog, so there's moisture in the air.
As soon as I touched down to Link the Mandem, you saw the vibe when you saw the clip. Apprehension. Oh, it's a little bit sketch. I'm thinking to myself, these are all contributing to the thoughts that I had in my mind. I was thinking to myself, no, I'm not having it. Positive. We keep stepping and head up to Edmonton to link the rest of the ride. 3 boys rode relatively tentatively up there as well because the weather was still cack. From Edmonton, we pushed up into Luton. As soon as we got into the county of Bedfordshire, sky broke open, sun flooded out, and things were starting to look up. We linked another batch of guys. In total, there was 25 of us, and we started mobbing. It was a lot of fun. We have to head out, and despite the notice, everyone can relate to this of make sure you fill up before you link the Mandem. That didn't happen, so we had to go mob the local petrol station. We link up with this new batch of guys. I didn't know any of them, but all of them were good vibes, all of them were real riders, all of them had proper bikes, there weren't no sketch behaviour. Okay, cool, there was a couple of the tracksuit mafia man then, but I ain't mad at them more time, you get me? Anyway, but as you can see, just from the light in the shot, and the roads are bone dry. So we get out, we hit some lanes. We're hitting B roads, we're hitting A roads, we're hitting a few country lanes. Still a bit of traffic, despite it being a Sunday afternoon. But, you know, with 25 man up, there is a degree of security in being around that many people because people tend to hear you come in and they make space for you, which is not a bad thing when you're on a motorcycle. And you know me, I always like to be somewhere near the front, not because of an ego thing, but more so because there's less obstacles, less things that can go wrong. So yeah, filtering through traffic, as I said, there's a bag of us, so it was a case of just like getting where you fit in, if you feel me. We're moving now, we're hitting some half decent roads, and you can see down, you can see us hitting roundabouts, some good stuff. Boy Lewis, who loves to smoke the back wheel with a bit of hard rear braking. No ABS coming for him on that. I think 09 Big Bang. And you know, there's a bit of naughtiness, a couple little, you know, front wheel bounces there. You know, I'm sure it's a slip of the clutch in there and all accidental, even though he did stand up. Anyway, moving on swiftly. These guys know these roads. I'm just trying to keep up, right? I'm having a good time. The pace is pretty cool. I'm leaving enough space between me and the guy in front of me so I can see how he's reacting to the next bend. And you know the old saying, you need to ride for yourself, but other riders' behavior is a strong indication as to what's coming up. So I was using that heavily. That's why you don't see me right up close with these man, which is what you would usually see if I'm out with my squad. Inevitable, kinda, when you're riding in the country, nature wants to play its part. So yeah, for the rest of the video on this camera, I'm afraid we do have a huge bug pretty much center of the screen. It's been a real learning curve getting used to this bike. As you guys might have known, I had a Big Bang before this, had this for a little over a year now. I've not been able to get out on it as much. Village life, seeing a horse there, and if you know anything about riding past horses, you really don't want your bike backfiring. Anyway, we're pushing through the roads now, and I'm really trying to get used to the roll and the lean of the bike, getting used to the edge of the tyre. Super courses are up to temperature by now, and it's just about getting the entry lines right on some of the dodgy bends. But we pulled up at this temporary light, and we actually ended up waiting there until the light went over about 4 times, waiting for the rest of the man to catch up. I changed my gloves, okay? I changed my gloves, started messing around with my GoPro, content creator life. Everyone started heading out. So some of the guys at the front I was with didn't realize that I'd gone back to work out who's okay and where we're at and change my stuff around. Basically, I was messing around when I shouldn't have been. The group left, and as I said to you before, I like to be closer to the front, so I've been kind of top 5 or 6 for the whole day, and I was comfortable there. Yeah, at this stage, I had to ping out and try and catch up the front guys. So I'm right at the back with my guy Jonathan with the R6, and I'm like, I can't do this, bro, I gotta bounce. So I'm making up places in the bends, in these little villages, waiting for the road to open up so I can stretch out and use that inline for really get that S1000 up to where it needs to be so I can get closer to the front, which is where I need to be. Yeah, when it does start to open up, I'm starting to fly past people. All well and good. I'm in my comfort zone, things are going well. In front of me is one of the Ride 3 boys, and I remember thinking to myself, you know, big guy, he leans quite well. I wonder why I look like leaning, and at this stage, this is when it gets dangerous because my focus is slipping. I'm getting complacent, I'm overconfident and overcomfortable, and I'm not focusing on the task at hand. You know, so I should be thinking apex, exit, apex, exit, road positioning. Am I giving myself the best chance to get around this corner as smoothly and as stably as possible? I'm thinking about other things at this point for whatever reason. Ironically, we go past this learner and an instructor, and I remember thinking to myself, shit, I remember when I was out learning and my instructor saw some riders go past and he was in my ear like, oh, they're riding so dangerously. I was thinking to myself, I know that's what he said about me, write it down. I guarantee it. Anyway, lo and behold, we hit this corner, target fixation, I focus on the curb, and before you know it, I'm over it, and
I think it's still recording.
All part of it, it's all part of it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
yeah, anyway, all I'm saying is anyone who does have an off, it's not the end of the world. In fact, the most important thing is that you're okay. Bike parts with eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and your mates, track addicts groups, any other forums where track guys are shit, you can get parts, alright? These are mass-produced vehicles, you can get parts, and it probably won't be as expensive as you think. What's important is that you're okay. Thankfully, I had the wind knocked out of me. I had a bit of light damage to my bike, no damage to my body. Can I get an amen? And you know, it wasn't that bad of a crash, all things considered. I've had worse. Shout out to the Blackpool Tunnel. I took something from this. There was a learning. I've got more content coming in terms of development. So for example, California Superbike School booked, heading over there, creating some content in and around that. The rebuild, I've got my new fairings. I'm looking at probably painting the bike. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go a completely new color, if I might just revamp what I've got. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna look for your input on that just to see exactly what you think is the best course of action. I'm trying to do something maybe a bit more slipstream. I'm thinking of maybe a Nardo grey, or like, should I go a little bit more bold? Who should I holler for this as well? Like, obviously I've spoken to Ruthless, they're my guys, they're cool, but I know a few other people. Anyway, so much to discuss. We're gonna turn this L into a W, all right? Make sure you shout the channel, bro. So many people have come back to me and said that they're digging the content. Let me see it in the stats. Let me see your likes, let me see your subscriptions. Subscribe on this channel. So like the ting, subscribe to the ting. Hit me on Instagram. If you got a bike you're trying to show, if you're a new rider, you're trying to get some shine on your bike, hashtag fast and past, and at me at slipstream.tv. Bada 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 ba. Shout the man them. Slipstream.